Okay, I guess we went right into being live. That was interesting. So, probably because there's a playlist going on. But what's going on, everybody? I am here. I am gigantic, it looks like, with the presets that have been set up here. But welcome to the broadcast, everybody. We are out on Richmond World Course for the Friday Criterium Series. We've got riders out on course right now with the A's and the B's. Well, all of the racers did start together, so because they did all start together, we will have a couple of feeds, and we'll be trying to follow with those feeds a couple of the different races that are happening out on course. We're going to kind of hang out with the C category racers as well as the B category racers today. So the Friday Criterium originally was a race series that started for just C and D category riders, and has slowly grown to include all levels of riders, but still has a focus on the C and D categories. Today, I believe looks like Zwift Power's back up, and so it's going to give us a little bit of help on exactly what the race is today. And it looks like we are doing 2 laps of the UCI Richmond course, the same kind of thing that we saw happening actually over in Las Vegas for the inaugural CVR World Cup. So let's quit talking and get right on into the race action. And it does look like we do have up at the front here Harris, Decox, Casey Shum, as well as Strzinski, A. Locks from Vision Cycling's there as well. And then we do have, it looks like Zwift Population Density Buster out on course here out of the USA, 4.4 watts per kilogram. D. Atwell's there as well. Verhoeven has made the front group amongst the B category. Always a rider to watch out for in the B category race for sure. Coming out of the Netherlands there, Ace Verhoeven. And it looks like Termont is going to be right on his heels, though. T. Termont, another rider in the B category to be watching out for the W today. We do have something kind of wacky going on here. I do have the chase group that was the lead of the C here, of the C's, but I can show you guys something kind of funny actually, but instead of doing that, I am going to see if I can maybe fix the issue here, and I think I know exactly what it is. And as we do that, I will be able to give you guys the feed from the B race here in just a moment. And it's not letting me fix it. Interesting. Well, we'll look at the A race for just a little bit here. And Harris here up at the front here from the Bolt Racing Team, 5.7 watts per kilogram. Coming out of Great Britain with Decox chasing things down a little bit, not really letting him go anywhere. Without 6, 7, 8, maybe 7 or 8 watts per kilogram on the flat section of the course, you are not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So, on the flatter sections of the course, unless you attack into like 7 watts per kilogram, grab a solid gap and then hold 5 to 6 amongst these A boys and girls, you're going to have a hard time getting away from them. But up at the back here, we do have A Waters, about 1 second back, but did not get dropped off, it looks like. The last B rider that we have in and amongst this group that is going to be able to hang on, it looks like, and not get dropped off from the pack is going to be EF coming out of the US of A. We're just going to swap some things around here really quickly, and I think be able to. Johnny Noblet, I know you're probably watching. Stop stretching things. I do not care about the 4K situation. Please don't stretch them anymore. So I'm going to try and get you guys a B feed here. It's not allowing me just yet to fix it up though, so that it has the right look. So right now, Nathan is looking gigantic in that feed, and it's not coming through exactly correctly. And maybe if I put it in somewhere else, but it's still going to be a little bit wacky if I try to do so. But we're going to get those other riders as fast as we possibly can set up here so that you guys can have the awesomeness that is the other races out on course here. And yeah, that's really interesting. Well, we can at least show it to you, and I think my camera will be fine. So, yep, the camera does look fine here. We won't have the information up at the top, though. So sorry about that, but I do have Andy Beveridge here being chased down by, well, working with Kay Bailey and D. Malley as well. And Nagy here in the B category with Hasty and G Twist and Albert, and then P. Startvik and Millward here as well. Des, McFarlane, and Dorla. We do have Carissa Min here riding in the women's category. I'm not sure if she's the lead rider amongst the women just yet. We'll see if we can bring in some of those results as well as soon as possible here. I do have, it looks like, for the, let's see here, for the C category, let's go ahead and see if these do work. I don't think they are going to work because the IDs are not going to be correct, but swiftpower.com and then list the results and is not going to be right. We've got some other C category race. It looks like that is already finished. So as soon as we're able to get that awesomeness, we'll bring it your guys' way. But back at the front now, we do have EF here, who has fallen off pace, it looks like. About 13 seconds between himself and Waters. Harris here, and then Szerzynski, 4.8 watts per kilogram. At the front here, Locks with Decox, Pang, and then Webb. Shum there, 4.1 watts per kilogram with Atwell. And then RNRMCA is there with S. Berry and Verhoeven. Termont all in this lead group. Looks like the front of the Bees still hanging on at the front of this group. We're going to take a quick little break here. I will give you guys the feeds of the race. You guys will be able to keep those throwing down, and as we do, you guys, we are going to watch the front here while we make sure that we're able to bring in all the awesome new bells and whistles today for the Friday Criterium. And we are back, and I think we're going to have some live results going on. Look at that, boys and girls. I took a little while to get things going, but we've got the results going now, thanks to somebody who's super awesome, who I just spent a little while yelling at and takes because he's awesome. People who are awesome get yelled at, boys and girls. So anyways, not really yelling, but we all love the Shed Man. But A Peng here, coming out of France here. They're about to head into the actual serious part of the course anyways, so all we missed was the parts that nobody really cares about. No, I'm just kidding. So about 30 seconds back, we've got M. Harris here, it looks like. The next one to bite the dust off the back. A couple of B-boys here, man. Absolutely killing it at the front with D. Atwell, 4.6 watts per kilogram. Sitting within the top 10, though, it will be Szerzynski the last time they came through with Locks, Decox, Barry, Adam Webb, Casey Shum, CRNR, MSCA, M. Harris, Andrew Fairmont is in there as well. Is that right, Andrew? And then it looks like, though, he may have fallen off pace since the last time they came through there. Fleetwood was amongst them as well, it looks like. It was at about the 10-12 marking gap, though. But it looks like we are solid with the results so far. In the B category, then, let's go ahead and see if we can pull up the front of actually the C category as they are making their way toward the bottom. Actually, no, let's stay with the A's, actually, as we are seeing Szerzynski make an attack here at about 8.6 watts per kilogram. Locke's trying to follow very closely here, 8.9, with D. Cox here from C2 Racing right on the wheel. Adam Webb from Vision Cycling there on that blue Tromback, followed by Casey Shum on the Cervelo S5 that they like to run, with that rear wheel showing that they're from all the way back in the beta, boys and girls. And so it looks like Shum here trying to stay with the front of this group, of D. Cox here, 8 watts per kilogram. C2 Racing really putting the hammer down. A Peng now from Team France bites the dust off the back. It looks like he will not be going with this lead group. Shum's going to have to go, though, at this point, if he's going to stay with them. Be interesting to see what the time will be up and over the top of this climb, as they are putting down a solid 8 watts per kilogram. Shum now makes his way to the front. One last little kick, 188 beats per minute. Webb is there as well, 156, 9.4, and comes up and over the top here. And we're looking at a solid 108, boys and girls, 108 for the climb over the top of the Libby Hill out on the Richmond World's course, the first of 3 crazy efforts that they're going to be throwing down. 191 coming from Decox. Szerzynski here, 181. Shum now 180. Locks here, 169. Verhoeven 22 seconds back. As you can see here, Peng is there as well. Was caught by Verhoeven up over the top, and the Zwift population density buster has made it up over the top as well, it looks like, in that group. So it's going to be a chase group of 3, maybe 4. And Termont, if you get down terms in this B category, is going to be right on that wheel and be a group of 5 in just a moment here. Let's go ahead and check out what's happening with the C category races. We can bring in the feed here from Carissa out in TT land, no man's land a little bit here, but I think it's going to be a solid effort for her. According to ZwiftPower.com, in the C category, we've got old Graham D. O'Malley just ahead of her, as you can see, in the last checkpoints, actually. So 3.6 watts per kilogram from a few of those boys, though. They are up over the limit, but that's not quite too far into the race just yet, as we do see Stockvik, McFarland, Faldos, and then Min was in 10th place at the last checkpoint, but 5 seconds up is going to be McFarlane. Let's see if she can catch up to them and grab back onto that top 10 placing, though. But Millward here with D. Malley, Hasty, Stockvik here. This is your top runners in the C category today. Back to the front of the race, though, I do see a couple of taps taking place, though, and we do see that it is going to be Termont in the B category, just trying to stay on Verhoeven's wheel, who's throwing down off the top of 23rd Street. Webb, though, is at the front here with 31 seconds over that chase group, with Cox, Szerzynski there, Locks. Nobody's fallen off pace over 23rd Street. Governor is going to be the next place that we're going to see a serious effort, I think, to try and throw down and separate things out here today. I'm going to go ahead and bring up our social media links if you guys are over on the Zwift Community Live Facebook, I am going to throw that in here. And if you would like to interact in any way whatsoever, we can bring your interactions right in to the broadcast, or you can tweet at Z Community Live. Tweet at Z Community Live, and we can bring in your photos and other things that you guys would like to bring into the broadcast. Always good to have you guys here. And BJ Alfonso is here today. Said, good afternoon, Nathan. Spectator today for me. 5 days, 5 rides. Nice job, BJ. Way to get it done, man. I am seeing Steve Kane. Is there a problem with Twitch buffering constantly right now? I don't think so. It should be totally fine right now. I've got a solid stream going out at the moment over to Twitch. And email Vandenberg, good to see you in the broadcast. And he's saying that was a brutal surge. It definitely was, up and over the top of Libby. And hi, Nathan. Had to quit tonight. No wattage coming from sensors. Ouch, Michael. I'm so sorry to hear that. Pushing 100 RPMs and only getting 2 watts per kilogram. Ugh, yeah, that is always a frustrating one. Definitely. It looks like at the front of this race now, though, it is going to be Governor Street Climb. In the Gambit kit, Szerzynski riding for Team Poland here, looking over his shoulder. You do see the Vision Boys marking him, not letting him go anywhere just yet. The C2 Racing Boy, also somebody definitely to watch out for here today, D. Cox. As they make their way up and over the top. RNRMCA is about 30 seconds back. I don't think those guys are going to see the front of this race again, but it is a solid chase group of what looks to be 5 racers at this point. I think the last time through, not sure where this last gap came through at, but 18:32, so just about 2 minutes ago. This was your leaders, and the gap was, looks like it was pretty split up actually between R&R and S. Barry and the rest, but I think that a few of them have gotten back on terms a little bit amongst the, oh, actually this is just A category riders, so that's kind of interesting. So for these results here, you guys, that is a little bit different, as you know, Andrew and then Steven, they haven't gone through the checkpoint yet. But as you can see here, Harris, Barry, R&R, they're only going to be marked amongst the A category racers. So with that, you can actually see the live results for those specific categories rather than having to say this person is, you know, trying to judge where they are according to the side of the course there. So now we do see Termont here is currently leading. 31 seconds back, though, from the lead of the entire race. Atwell's there along with, it looks like, I'm not sure what that name is, but A. Waters, K. Bailey, and A. Marr there. T. Nagy sitting in 7th, followed by S. Creary, and then M. Godsey. 9th, P. Johansson there as well. So we are looking at the front of the C's right here now, though. It looks like with Graham just a little ways up. Graham, we can go ahead and bring in their results as well. And we do have, I believe it is going to be Graham. Let's go ahead and make sure. Yep, Graham is up by about 10 seconds the last time we saw them come through a checkpoint. It is out to 16 seconds now as D. Pamelaire is working with Twist and Valdez Godsey. And it looks like Albert and Creary to try and pull back the front of those C racers. So a large contingent of C racers all together here, a part of a chase group actually, with Johansson, Faldas, Godsey, and Hasty. Beveridge is there. About 6 seconds back can be Hasty, Beveridge, Stockvik, the TFC riders here, just a little ways off of that front group. Chris Mid now just making her way down the 23rd Street climb, trying to chase down Andorla. We'll see if she can pull that off today. You know what I'm going to do? Let's go ahead and bring in the women's results. This is going to be very helpful, actually, as these, if we are able to throw these results in together, we'll be able to see, instead of searching all the way through, we'll be able to see exactly what the women are up to out on course for their results, all parsed out. So really cool addition today. And let's go ahead and see if Carissa can help us out with that. And according to ZwiftPower.com, we've got Colleen Wade actually up at the front, I believe. Is that right? 12-11 back from the leaders. June Baker, followed by Claire Snowden. Z. Kreider. Did I not change the women's? I don't think I did. Maybe I did. Maybe that's not correct. I'll have to take another look real quick and just make sure that those are all set up right. Let me hit up the women's category here. And nope, that was from some past results. We'll go ahead and update those real quick, and we should be getting a new setup for the women's results right now. Bam! I think that is the C category, and then we will merge in the women's categories. We're looking at Carissa here. And she makes her way up Governor Street. She's getting a little ride on there. Bestwick coming on by her. And there she is. Actually, this is right on. So this is your current women's leader. Looks like she came through the last checkpoint, I think is up and over the top of 23rd Street. And then behind that is going to be Libby Hill, but I'm not absolutely positive on the checkpoints. But June Baker, followed by Claire Snowden, and then Z. Kreider. That is going to be your current leaders in the women's category right now out on course. So solid efforts so far coming from Carissa. Leading this out right now. So I'm not sure if those are all riders that are a part of the race right now. We'll have to wait and see as this updates, as we're seeing some solid efforts at the front here. 4.1, 4.4, 4.5 from those other riders. Maybe getting populated from another race. But we did change the race ID, and I am seeing came in up at the front here. So seems to be working all right. We are back at the front of the race now, it looks like, with the A boys. They are out on the Richmond flat section, the sprinter section of the course. Dzinski, Cox, Locks, and then Shum and Webb. All together, a lead group of 5 at this point. Going to be Gruppo Compacto, 147 beats per minute or so. Kudos to hey, Zwift, thanks so much. Kudos to the Z Community Live for integrating live leaderboards into their event streaming. Give those guys a follow and a ride on. Zwift, thank you so much for the shout out and the love there. We really appreciate that. If you guys, anybody would like to be featured in the any of our broadcasts through the social media integration, you can go ahead and do so by tweeting at Z Community Live, and we're able to bring your guys' stuff right on in. We are seeing at Z Community Live also saying huge thanks to team for bringing live Goes With positioning into our VMix at Z Community's race broadcast. Yeah, big thanks to the team. We really appreciate it. And so it looks like, well, the women's I'm getting a little background that the women's might not quite be working, but we did have Chris up at the front, but we did have a couple of other women and other people from some past races, so it just might not be unpopulating a few of the riders. So it looked like we did have Chris up at the front, though, so it at least did pull some of the results out on the course here. Dzinski with Locks, Webb, Shum, and D. Cox here, still all together at the front of this race. We do see an attack here coming from D. Cox. Looks like they may be going for the sprint jersey. It looks like Termont was able to pull it off with the 16:20 out on course. So, and I am getting, it looks like up at the back here with Bestwick and Min still battling it out up and over the top of Governor Street, just coming over the start-finish line with one lap to go in the C race right now. We're using Carissa kind of as our rabbit, following things around in the C category. It is currently being led out by D. Pamel. It looks like we'll move forward with Stoffik and a few others, but there actually is an attack. There's an attack in the A race, so we're going to move back up there. It looks like it was Shum who did instigate that with 6.3 watts per kilogram. Webb is there still as well with D. Cox and Dzinski. Locks here now 4.3 watts per kilogram as well. Barry now 256 back. Nobody going anywhere just yet as Shum calms it down at about 3.2, 3.4 watts per kilogram. So Webb now on the back, on the blue Tron bike, as you can see here, 145 beats per minute, looking very calm actually, and solid So far, it looks like for the Vision Cycling boys, going to be playing a lot of head games, I think, against Team Experimental here with Shum. Shum goes again into 8-9 watts per kilogram, though 177 beats per minute. He is not letting up, and I think the reason that is he knows that the climbs are going to be the places that these boys are going to have a little bit of an advantage on him. Being a TT specialist, this guy is a state champion out of Illinois in the United States, actually, at the Cat 4 or 5 level, I believe. So he does have some solid TT efforts out on the road that he can give. So I think he wants to get away from these boys and try and work, make them kind of work against each other a little bit. But with two Vision boys in there, Webb and Locks, they're going to be covering those moves very quickly. Maybe he just wants to get away with one of them so that the other Vision boy does not chase. And it ends up being a chase group of 3 who won't really work together. That's probably his best chances for winning or taking a second place today out on course. So we do look back. It looks like it is going to be Hasty along with Mar and Faldes a little ways back in the B category. We're going to move up forward a little bit. I do believe Verhoeven, usually one of the top dogs in the B category. We are seeing another tackle real quick here. We were going to move back, but Shum is just being relentless. And now making the break happen with Webb right on his wheel. Decox, it looks like, able to hold the wheel, though. It is on a downhill section. Very difficult to get away on those sections of the course. And everybody's still Grupo Compacto. Nobody's gone anywhere just yet. But Cox there goes again. 185. Webb following very closely there. And it is all back together. So back at the front of what looks to be the B race, though, I believe we are going to have Verhoeven along with Atwell, Termont. Actually, looking at these results here, actually, it is going to be, he is a little ways back, actually, here. And is Verhoeven actually racing in the A category now? Because he's got B in his name here, but I have a feeling that maybe Termont, it's saying, is in the lead with Atwell just a little ways ahead of him. So I think that Verhoeven actually got an upgrade to the A category and just has B in his name right now. Looking here, we do have Atwell then and Termont, as you can see. 117, they've been working together, but it looks like Atwell recently was able to drop him off. I believe it was probably through the sprint banner section the last time that we took those results live. So 9 seconds back then is going to be Termont with Atwell a little ways up. This is the B category results. Then, as you can see here, M. Harris is there right along with S. Berry. Just a little ways back, but Berry there, not really part of the race. They don't care too much about him, it looks like. So Atwell, Termont here battling out for first and second place in that B category. As we move our way back here, we can see Zwift Population Density Buster out on course here, a part of the A's, I believe. And with the main feed of the A's, we can go ahead and see where they're sitting amongst the riders here. So in the A category, this is the lead boys, but that chase group that we were just looking at there with RNRMCA and the Zwift Population Density boy, as you can see there, they're just a little ways back, sitting in about 6th and 7th and 8th place now. We do have another attack here coming through from Shum right before they hit the downhill section, actually. I don't know, man. I mean, these are relentless and serious attacks, but is he just burning the matches is the question. Is anybody getting into any kind of hurt locker here? As we're seeing 182, 140. I mean, Webb and Locks are just looking super comfy at this point. And Shum now, 179, continues to max out his heart rate. And it's just not going much of anywhere. Moving back then, let's see if we can get the front of the C category in just a moment here. We're going to have to wait for the screen to populate around us back at the other cameras there. The cameras in the back. We're just got to wait for the motor car to move his way forward. He can't get around a couple of riders there, having some trouble with some sort of traffic jam out there out on course. But I think so. It looks like we are moving forward a little bit here and able to grab a huge amount of C riders, actually, it looks like, with Hasty. I believe Hasty was leading things out in the C category. I think things are going to go Grupo Compacto again in this A front race. So let's get back with the C's and the D category. according to zippower.com, the leader group was Graham and Hasty, and that's who we're looking at right now. Graham here, 2.6 watts per kilogram, amongst a huge group of B riders, as you can see here. I think a few of these are definitely out of contention for the front end of the race in the B category, but we can bring those results in real quick here. For the B category, it does look like the current leader is still Atwell, Termont, Waters, Bailey, Johansson, Nagy, Marr, and then Godzi. None of those riders in the top 10 then that these front C boys are amongst here. So for the C category then, it is going to be Graham and Hasty though. Leading it out, they're going to have one more chance, it looks like, over the top of Libby Hill, but Hasty in no man's land here, and Graham having a huge contingent of riders to work with now, as we also do have D. Pomellaire in there as well. So it looks like D. Pomellaire and Hasty, D. Pomellaire and it was Graham worked together actually to get rid of Hasty here for a top 3 position here. So Hasty grabbing that top 3 position, but the other two, 1 and 2, off the front now at this point. Valdez then just about 48 seconds back at this point with Stockvic trying to chase him down, about 35 seconds back from them. So that's your top 5 right now in the C category. You can see some solid efforts there in the C category, 3.3, 3.4 watts per kilogram, 3.2. So they're right on edge. If you're unfamiliar with Zwift racing, in the world of Zwift racing, there you are able to jump into these categories, and each one of the categories is set up by watts per kilogram. So for the C category that we are looking at right now, all these guys have the expectation of about 3.2 watts per kilo, 2.5 to 3.2 watts per kilogram for how much wattage they can hold. If you're unfamiliar with what that means, in the upper left-hand corner here, you can see the watts that they're currently holding, right? And then in game, they put a certain weight in game. And then for kilograms, for whatever you weigh in kilograms, you take how much watts that you can put out for 1 hour straight. So you do an FTP test, functional threshold power, right? And your functional threshold power is how much you can hold absolutely for 1 hour straight on the bike. So the assumption then, after doing an FTP test, you do a 20-minute test, you multiply whatever you're able to hold, and that all out, everything you got, 20 minutes on the bike. You multiply that by 0.95, and that's an assumption of what you can hold for 1 hour. At that point, you take that number, right, that assumption of what you can hold for 1 hour, and you divide it by your weights in kilogram, and that is your watts per kilogram for your FTP. So if you ever hear people talking about what's your FTP and they give you some ratio and you're like, well, you just gave me like 2.5, 5.3, a million 0.7 with some of these guys, right, on Go Power Rangers. So like the different categories for A, B, C, and D, that's what that ratio is all about. And you can actually see that ratio at all times on the right hand side of the course here, actually, or of the screen here. So Valdez at 194 watts, 185 watts, right around there, 2.8, 2.9. It's continually showing you what his watts per kilogram currently are out on course, right? And so that is giving you an idea of what he's currently holding. But these categories are set up by what you could hold for your functional threshold power, your 1 hour power. So for the C categories, you can see here, Graham at 3.2 watts per kilogram. He's right on the edge, right at the max of what you're supposed to be able to hold as a C category rider. And because of that, he's at the front of the race. Same with De Palmalar and Hasty and Valdez and Stockvic. They're all right at that upper end. That's to be expected in the C category race, that they'd be right around that end, depending on now there is drafting in game, there's tactics in game, right? And so with all of the real life tactical sides that come with Zwift, not everybody's just gonna be maxed out the entire time. They're gonna be resting and then going and then resting and then going and sitting in and tactically trying to conserve energy. So but as you can see here, at the C category, we might have a couple upgrades. I don't think so, though, today. It looks like they're all fairly well placed today. Looks like the front runners now are hitting up Libby Hill, though. So let's get back with those boys as the front runners are making their final attacks up on over the top of Libby. We do have Szerzynski here, 6.9 watts per kilogram. Locks here, 5.9, trying to follow there, but Szerzynski is going at 6.6, 130 beats per minute, though. These boys really rested coming in to this section of the course. Straczynski's heart rate monitor actually was just fine a little bit earlier, and I have a feeling there was a little slippage or something in its setup on his chest there, and I have a feeling that maybe there's something incorrect coming through here from Straczynski right now, because I know he's got a functioning heart rate monitor. So 130 is just not usually where he beats for these watts here. Cox here with Webb, then Straczynski. But Shum, as we saw earlier, burning matches like crazy. He knew he had to try and get away, as the climbs might be just too much. And there he goes off the back here. Now it's just going to be a day of trying to hold off R&R MCA and Pang, along with Zwift Population Density Buster. ZPDB. We're going to call that guy ZPDB, along with Verhoeven and Atwell, trying to chase him down. For a couple of those guys in the B category. But there's a lead group of 4 now with Locks, Webb, and Straczynski. Looking over their shoulders here, you can see that we do not have Shum any longer in our scopes. So Shum here actually not over the top yet. Our MCA here coming like a freight train with Pang out of the French team, holding on to his wheel, still battling out for a top spot in the A category here. So moving forward then, Cox, Straczynski, Webb, Locks, Shum then 55 seconds back. Pang here chasing him down, trying to drop off R&R MCA. This is a battle here for, it looks like, 6th and 7th place out on course. Harris, though, 221 back from that BRT team, along with the population density buster man at 5.4 watts per kilogram. The reason that some of these boys aren't showing up in the leaders board is because they didn't put their category in their name. As you can see here, Pang here from Team France, 6.2 watts per kilogram, but there's no category in his name, so it isn't currently tracking him in the live results, just so you guys know why they're not showing up there. D Cox here, 10.4 watts per kilogram. Now, this is the move, I think. This is on the Sagan kicker. There's a Sagan climb, 23rd Street, where he won the race on this in 2015. 192 beats per minute, but Webb follows it right on up. Now there's going to be 2 off the front, I think. With 2 seconds over the top of 23rd Street, you can really get going here. Straczynski's got continuance here, 6.0 watts per kilogram, 400 watts here. Cox trying to break things apart, but I think the pole may be able to pull this off. 139. Locks here now off the back, 170, but it looks like he's going to be back on Straczynski's wheel here. And then Shum now 4.9 watts per kilogram, holding off Pang just fine. We are seeing going to be a long ride to the finish, Timothy Termont. Nothing left. Sorry to hear that, Termont. We'll get back with you and see how things are going. It looked like you were absolutely killing it out there today, but if you throw down too much too early, man, it can definitely turn into a grind to the finish line. I actually got Termont right here. Atwell about 1 minute up from Termont here. We're going to take a quick look at this and the results that are lining up from zippower.com for these B-boys. Atwell at the front, 110 up now from Termont. The last time was at 149, a 10-second gap, so it looks like it's going to be a rough day for Timothy. Timothy's going to have to hold off a couple of boys chasing him down. P. Johansson is just a little ways back from him right now. So I think you can hold him off there. Give it all you got there, Termont, to the line. Straczynski here now. This is going into the finish line for the A category, though. So for the A category, 6.4 watts per kilogram. Locks there, 3.7. It looks like Straczynski has some continuance at 425 watts. Will he be able to hold off Webb, who's been on just a slaughterfest lately, killing it out there today, out in these races? So we'll see if Webb can continue on with his efforts out here on Zwift. For the last couple of weeks, he's been having some solid results here. Straczynski here, 6.3 watts per kilogram. Locks going 8.4 watts per kilogram, 5.2. Webb now 5.9. And it looks like here comes the kick, boys and girls. And Straczynski now with consistency at the front, though. D-Cox there, 6.4. Locks now going at 7.4. And the Vision boys really just following wheels now at this point, waiting for the last moment, I think. So we are seeing now, it looks like 5.7 watts per kilogram, 5.4 coming from C2 Racing out of the UK. Is he going to be able to hang on? 186, Webb now 151, Locks now 167, Straczynski now 6.4 watts per kilogram at the front here. The heart rate's starting to rise up. And the one thing that we are going to be trying to integrate is the rider cards, just so you guys know. We're going to try and bring those in so that we can get all the information that we need from ZwiftPower.com about each and every one of the riders here. But D Cox here, 6.1 watts per kilogram, hanging on. Webb is going to go again, it looks like here. Now just right on the wheel there. 2.4, 2.3 watts per kilogram. He does max out right around the 170s, I believe. So not a lot of wiggle room on the heart rate just yet for him here. But now 190 beats per minute. C2 Racing, man, is he got anything left in the tank as the two Vision Boys looking to try and pull this off here ahead of Straczynski now at 5.1 watts per kilogram. And coming into the final 200 meters or so, Straczynski out of nowhere. There's the kick, boys and girls, super early. And it's all but over. He got the jump. He got the jump, boys and girls. But Webb has one final kick to the line. It looks like he will be able to pull this off here just ahead of Straczynski, followed by Locks, and then it will be D Cox across the line, who led all of them out, actually. So solid effort from all of the riders there in the top four. That was the top four today. Shum here still holding off, it looks like Pang, but it's going to be a battle to the line here. 22 seconds. So that's all he's got to work with. And they're heading up Governor Street, man. And Pang, we saw up in that 5-6 watts per kilogram from him over the top of the other two climbs. If he really gives it here, he might be able to catch back up. But Shum now seeing the riders coming, starting to put those afterburners on and chase them down. Looking back at the B race, though, real quick here, we do see it is going to be Termont and Harris here battling it out. Not a part of the race, Termont. With Harris. Harris and Termont not in the same race. Harris is actually part of the A category and actually sitting in the top 10 in the A category, but it looks like Termont here just a little ways back from Atwell still, who actually we can see in the A category feed, who's just about going on 54 seconds back from Casey Shum, actually. Termont here bringing it in for the B category, though. For second place, followed closely by, it looks like, Johansson and Creary, actually a solid chase group here in this B category that just made their way up and over the top of Libby Hill. Back to the front of the A's really quick before we get back to the battle in the B race here. 300 meters to go for Casey. Going to hold off ZP DB, the Zwift Population Density Buster, with RNR MCA here. But looks like these two boys at the back here are battling it out for the next places on course for a top 6 and 7 here. Here comes the kick. Casey's going to be crossing the line just now, but now it's going to be a battle here between Zwift Population Density and Pang. Looks like ZPDB is going to make it happen here at 6.6 watts per kilogram and get away from him. EVD Emil, good to see you, Emil. He says I'm giving everybody acronyms now. Adam has a crazy sim. I'll put my money on Adam. Yeah, Adam was able to pull it off, so good job to him. Solid 13 watts per kilogram to give to the line there. Payne going to get the better of RNC, RNR, and then Verhoeven in the B category race. I'm not sure if that's correct, though, as I was seeing that I think he is going to be maybe getting an upgrade out of the Bs. I'm not sure. He wasn't registered today for these results here, so we'll have to wait and see. I think that Zwift Power might be getting a little more strict right now, though, about the results. So you got to put TFC and got to have your category in the name. It wasn't pulling anybody today that didn't have those things in their name. So make sure to follow the rules to enter into the race. If you don't use the sign-up form when you show up at a race, you just show up and you go to the start line. Nobody's going to track you. You don't got a number on. It's just not going to work, boys and girls. You got to put the number on. So Atwell here now in the B category, making his way to the line. Nice job to Atwell for the win in the B category, followed closely by Harris, just a little ways back from him. Let's go ahead and take a look at the battle to the line for second place, though, in this B category race. Actually, it's going to be Harris is about 18 seconds up, it looks like, from Barry and Termont. It does look like he's going to be able to hold him off for that BRT racing team. Termont doesn't seem super interested in chasing down Barry as they're not part of the same race. Now 4.7 watts per kilogram. Looks like he's going to be able to bring it back little by little here. So probably going to be able to throw it down and hold on to the wheel of Mr. S. Barry in this TFC. The Belgian versus the American today. And we'll see if who's going to win it out here. Barry now kicking into 4.0 watts per kilogram. It's all for pride amongst these boys as it is not a part of the same category today between them. Termont, Barry, though, battling out 4.6 watts per kilogram, it looks like, coming from the riders here. So we will get looking at Carissa and the others back in the C category in just a few moments here. We got to move back on our get our other motor car, our other camera to start moving back and get some shots here of the C category as they make their way to the finish line. It does look like it's going to be Termont falling off pace though from Barry that did kick up and over the top there, but Termont will be taking second place. Johansson though and Waters and Creary. This is the battle here for third place out there, and Johansson here out of Sweden did get away, it looks like, just a little bit from this chase group. But Governor Street is just climb is just starting, so it's going to be quite the battle, I think, in order to hold off those boys. Waters gets right back on terms to Johansson's wheel. Creary now 7 seconds back, so I think it's the real battle is going to be between the other two. We are seeing the battle here from Termont here to the line here, 100 meters to go, and there it is. Said he's got nothing left in the legs. Not too sure about that, boys. Whew. 9-10 watts per kilogram and drops Barry off pretty quickly there. Johansson now just about to come up over the top here with Waters on his wheel. We're able to drop off Creary and Harn in that B category. This was for third place out on course, and it looks like this is going to be a battle for third between two, as Creary 5 seconds back was still a 7% gradient to conquer. So not going to be happening, it looks like, here for Creary. So it's going to be Johansson and Waters to the line here. Johansson going from way out, 5.9, 5.7 watts per kilogram. Coming from Johansson with Waters now at 6.3, 5.3 now, just a little ways back from him. Now another kick, though, comes from Waters. Looks like he was saving just a little bit 7, but it is a 1 second difference. That's absolutely huge. It's actually 13 meters is what that 1 second equals. Now it's up to 15, 16. It continues to go out as Johansson had one more kick to the line with 200 meters to go. Not going to be caught as Waters says, that's it. GG. Nice job. Good game, buddy. And Johansson's going to take the third place on the podium, followed by Waters. Moving just a little ways back then in the C category, not too far back from these boys, we do have Hasty here making his way to the line. So Hasty now 3.3 watts per kilogram. Just the last time through the checkpoint was only about 34 seconds up from, or 30 seconds up from Graham, and that's stayed fairly consistent here, as you can see, as Graham is only 37 seconds now at this point. They're right on the edge there at 3.3, 3.2 watts per kilogram. Hasty gives a little kick now, looking maybe to catch up to N. Al-Butt here, but is not going to make that happen as he's part of the B category, I believe, anyways here. G-Twist here was actually the battle, I think, that he was looking for here. Twist now 7 watts per kilogram, all for the kudos at this point, and wants to get him at the line. Hasty tries to pull it off. I think it might have been Twist. Not the same category, doesn't matter too much now, but now Bailey crossed the line just ahead, I believe, of Graham. Where is Mr. Graham? Mr. Graham. But we'll go ahead and try and see if we can find Graham here in just a second. Raven here, not a part of the race, so we're just going to keep moving backwards. There he is. So Graham here, bringing it in for second place in the C category. Nice job to him. Strolling in to the line here. He knows he's got plenty of time over Mar and Faldes. Szymanski saying, I was shaking in my summer boots when I saw Elgara in the pit for the B race yesterday. Well, she's just hanging out, giving us, she's our motor car, actually, for the other category. So that's why she's hanging out in those, just so you guys know. We do have eyes here on the women's race. We'll be able to bring in some of the awesomeness there here for you guys in just a second. for the women's race. It looks like Graham here having a hard time getting to the line. I hope he's all right out there, boys and girls. Looks like the struggle is real today as he makes his way to the line in this C category. For the women's race, though, we do have Carissa Min here bringing it in just a little ways back, about to start her climb up and over the top of Governor Street. And solid effort coming from Carissa, 2.1, 2.5 watts per kilogram, battling it out with Darcy here. Darcy here, 186. Carissa's got about 20 beats to work with. I know I've seen her up in that 200s. And so I think she's got a little bit of an effort to give. Maybe there's no legs today. We'll have to see, though. Stockvik now, the classic sprint coming from him. Let's go ahead and go back to those boys at the front of the C category. And it is going to be Stockvik pulling it off ahead of Valdez, followed by Bestwick, it looks like, in that C category for those last couple of spots of the podium. So it is going to be Stockvik, Valdez, and then Mr. Bestwick here from the TFC team. That is going to be your top 6, I believe. Beveridge is just a little ways back from there, I believe. We'll have to wait and see if we can find him. Yeah, Beveridge here just about to cross the line, followed by McFarlane, and then D. Malley. Millward then there from the TFC as well, trying to hold off Andorla and Dugan. You can see Min just a little ways back from them. Let's go ahead and check out where she is at here from the cameras that we have back there. Darcy, Min, Weirda, and then Dugan, 4.1 watts per kilogram, all battling it out in their own solos at this point, but it's going to be Hunt, Darcy, and Min, not solo, all grouped up now at this point. Going to be a battle of the line over the top of Governors between them in this Friday Criterium on the 14th of April 2017. So Min now 3.3, 3.0 watts per kilogram. Looks like she's been holding on to a couple of watts here. She's got about 10 beats to work with. I think she's right up into that VO2 threshold area. Things are really starting to hurt now. Now it's going to start ramping up into what do you got left? How much will do you have left to make this pain increase? How willing are you to battle it out and hold on to these wheels? Let's see if she can play it smart here. Hold the wheels and maybe have a little bit of a kick to the line over these boys. I'm not sure, though. You know, being the lighter rider amongst these boys, she might want to just go as soon as they come over the top here. 4 watts per kilogram. See if she can make this happen to the line here. We do have Millward now just cross the line with Andorla and Dugan in the front end of that C category. Still rounding out the top 10. But it does look like Min now holding on to the wheel, 2.6, 3.5 watts per kilogram, still maybe 10 beats to work with. Darcy here, no heart rate monitor on. Now Hunt, no heart rate monitor either. So Min can't click around and go, okay, how much are they suffering? There is no idea at this point. It's just going to be all about the power to the line. About 400 meters to go, boys and girls. Is she going to pull it off here? We'll have to see. Kim Little is saying, you'd be crushed, Mike. And yeah, been done before. Szymanski is saying, go, Carissa, drop the MOA. Mother of all WAP bombs. Come on, mother of all WAP bombs. Let's go, Carissa. And it is just 200 meters to go. She's got to go now. There it is. 6, 7, 5, 1,000,000 watts. Let's go. 200 meters to the line. Here comes Carissa Min, boys and girls. In the women's category, she is going. Now Hunt tries to follow here at 6.3 watts per kilogram. Looking over the shoulder. He's up and out of the saddle. I'm not sure he's going to be able to pull it off as Carissa just sits down to make it happen. 202 beats per minute. Hunt's got 5.3, but Carissa throws down. The mother of all watt bombs. Casey Shum says, calm down, Carissa. She ain't calming down. She's beating all the boys to the line. And that's probably one of the best sprints I've seen to the line for Carissa. She actually just did recently a real-life TT and won. She took first out of, how many was it out on course, Carissa? Nice job, though. Really good job. Good to see you out there racing in real life and getting some solid results from all of your racing out on Zwift and everything. So great job out there. And GG Frequency says, nice. And yeah, I know, Chris. I know it was one. I'm just playing with you. Great job out there, though, today. Mitchell, good to see you. ODZ in the house says, nice finish. Diatwell is just a beast. Timothy says, great racing all. Yeah, solid job to everybody out there on course here. We do have Weirda just cross the line. Millward and the rest of the C boys just cooling off, it looks like, here as they are finishing up. Big C Mac D says, good, nice job, Carissa, out there today. So I'm moving back here. I'm looking for the D category boys. It looks like we do have a few of them as Bestwick gets his recovery drink going on. Let's see if we can throw these guys in for you and watch the finish for the D category today. I think we do have John Jay. No, I don't know if it is John Jay Offord here in the D category now. No, that's C category results. Excuse me. So let's bring in the D category results. Oh, and the screen is not. Let's go ahead and fix that. This is so. You guys want some background information? Johnny stretches the screens on a 4K monitor. That's why. And so when he pushes them over to me, they come over a little crazy. But now it looks good. Nice job, Johnny. This looks really good. Let's go ahead and see if Jay Offord is actually the leader. Nice job. 2.4 watts per kilogram. He's within category limits actually here, with Hussein following it up with Simon Fig there, 2.2 watts per kilogram, about a few minutes back from him. But it is going to be Jay Offord from the TFC team going to be able to pull this off at 2.4 watts per kilogram. Nice job to him in this D category. Hordenloff M. Almeida out of Brazil by about 13 seconds. It is a battle of the line between them. He's not in the results currently without a tag in his name. I want to remind everybody, please get that tag in there, okay? We want to be able to follow your results. With Power.com wants to be able to follow your results. Put the TFC race in there. Put the D category in there. It's just like when you show up to a real life race. You got to go sign the waiver, fill out the form. There's just a little less form. You go to and you push the menu button and you change your name. You put in your name, what race you're doing with, brackets and stuff for your team, and you're good to go, boys and girls. You can see Jay Offord being tracked really well here by ZwiftPower.com. Kimlo is saying, how you do CS tricks. Casey Shum in the channel here saying, blew up on lap 2. Asthma was bothering me, so I attacked about 6 times on the flat and soft pedaled in for 5th. Nice job. Daddy daughter cool down going on now. That's pretty cool, man. Nice job. I hope that's are you live streaming that? I think Casey's live streaming over on Twitch right now. Just so you guys know. I read that as Astana was bothering me. Wait, what's going on here? I'm gonna have to break down right outside today. Afraid I've forgotten how. Szymanski is saying. I think a lot of us can relate. Confessions of a Zwift addict. What a great Wall Street Journal article that was. CS Trix is saying Astana keeps calling. Was wondering what you were up to, Casey. I was wondering too. And it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit outside where Mr. Szymanski is. Wow. It's warm. Almeida now making his way to the line, looks like here. Nice job to Mr. Almeida. As he is throwing down to the line. If you guys would like to any questions or anything, let me know. I think that's going to be it for our coverage today, as we've got the first couple across the line for the Friday Criterium. It does look like the EVR race just got started. I was thinking about jumping into this, but I'm 1 minute late. So that's not going to happen. I was going to maybe do a race, but not going to happen. I will be jumping on to my personal channel, though, to do some riding. If anybody would like to join me, I think I got to see what it's like outside. I do need to get out on my mountain bike a little bit here and there. I think we're going to go do some fast laps on the Richmond course now. What do you guys think? You guys want fast laps on Richmond? Fast laps on Richmond. Let's go. Cincinnati. Gotcha, Szymanski. Gotcha. Wallstrom is saying 3 Celsius here with a promise of -7 Celsius tomorrow. Whoo! TF stream, but no Rogers. Something seems off. It does seem a little bit off. Have a great weekend, all. Kim Little is saying. Same to you guys. Yep. For those of you who celebrate, happy Easter. Happy Good Friday. Great time of reflection for all you guys. Great coverage as always. Big C Mac D. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. I sold my mountain bike, missing already. What? What? What are you doing? No! You did what? I don't want to hear these things. Not allowed. Refund. Fired. Fired. Oh my gosh. What is going on here? Reason for me to stay indoors to watch. Nathan, all right. So for those of you looking for results, you can head on over to ZwiftPower.com And there is a live results for each one of the races, as well as a live feed of this Twitch channel that sends out the race broadcast, actually. So if you go to live tab, you can find live video and the live chat over on zwiftpower.com, actually. So go ahead and grab that. Triggered. And Zwift Power was down yesterday. It was down yesterday. All of these results are powered by zwiftpower.com. They are coming directly from there. So let's go to Huge Nathan, because for some reason this camera is just out of control, gigantic. You can see how badly I need to shave. Thanks a lot for that, Shed Man. The Shed Man, who's the man who makes it all happen. While I'm ashamed to admit I just realized it's Good Friday. Oh, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it. The results will be posted shortly. I'm getting whispers, just so you guys know, from someone. The results will be posted shortly. I think in the... the results from the last couple of days. I think they might be lost. I'm not sure. I'm not in charge of any of that. So, sorry. Sorry that I can't do that. Fire up all up the final results. Oh, good call. Good call. Nice. It's Watopia, though. It's on Watopia. We're not on Watopia. We're going to have to fix that. So, A results, boys and girls. Bam! Look at that. I forgot that this exists. Adam Webb, followed by Peter Szynski, Aaron Locks, Dan Cox, and Casey Shum. That's your top 5 today. Nice job to all those in the top 15 there. Looks like Craig Reynolds, followed by Mark Harris, Sean Barry. And then number 4 and 192. Start-finish banner. It looks like it just went out to 8th, and then something got wacky there. I'm not sure what happened after that, but like something's not quite right with the way that it's populated. So just the top 8, and then it goes whack from there. But the top 8 are good to go. It looks like. Again, guys, this is the first run at these, so we'll have to see what's going on with that. Here's the B category. And we've got David Atwell, followed by Timothy Termont. Per Johansson, followed by Andy Waters. sunyearclimbs.co.uk. Let's get some sun going on here. Martin is there as well with Simon Curry in 6th place. Then 7th place goes to Keith B. 8th place goes to Alex Marr. Greg Bestwick, 9th, followed by Nagy Tabor in 10th. That is your top 10. Powell finished it up? No, he didn't finish. No go with the Powell. All right, and then for the C category, let's go ahead and see what happened here, boys and girls. We've got, maybe only 8 riders. That might be what it is. There might have been only 8 riders, so that might be what it is. C. Hasty, followed by Owen Graham. Paul Eddie Stotvic, nice job for 3rd place there in the C category. And then we do have Valdez, followed by Andy Beveridge for the top 5. Matthew McFarland, Danny Valley, Steve Millward, Michael and Delora, and Sean Dugan. That's your top 10 today in that C category. The final results for the D category that we have so far. We do have John Offord got across the line. Looks like John Offord, followed by John Offord, and some more John Offord. Simon Figg then I think is going to be taking maybe 2nd place. There's something going on with 2nd and 3rd as they're not populated just yet. But Simon Figg and Audi here, it looks like still hammering away, maybe out on course there. For the women, let's see what we do bring in here. Again, these are test results, and it doesn't look like the women's results are going to want to load for us. So no women's results today, guys. Just kidding. We saw Carissa get across the line. Nice job to Carissa. So thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. Sorry about that, guys. For some reason, as we saw earlier with the women's results, I'll show you guys here real quick. For some reason, the population of the women's results was kind of odd. We're trying to figure out the background there, but Carissa, and then it was like June Baker and Claire and Z, and I don't even think they're racing, so not sure what was going on with that, but nice job, everybody, today. We will see you guys over on my channel in a few minutes for a ride, I believe, and then I will be... Yeah, thanks a lot, Johnny. Appreciate the investigation. Let's get Sherlock on it. And then we're going to have some surprise streams over the weekend. So lots of cool surprise streams over the weekend. So make sure to hit that follow button. And we will see you guys all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Congratulations to all the riders. And as always, ride on.